calling all AP Euro students. Are you an AP Euro student or thinking about being one? This video is for you. What is up, guys? It's Alexia and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I have my blue light glasses on today, which are also my quote-unquote nerd glasses, which means that this video is going to be about academics. So the specific topic that I want to cover today is AP European history. So in this video, I'm going to kind of go through my credibility, my experience in the course, my advice for anyone taking the course, and how to do really well on the AP exam. Alright, so now that I took those glasses off, we can get into the real video. So as I promised, at the start of every video, I will go over my credibility on that topic. So this is my credibility for AP European history. So in my school, we're not allowed to take any AP classes until our sophomore year of high school. So I took AP Euro my sophomore year. This was one of my first two AP courses, so it was definitely a challenge for me, but I did finish with a 96.6 average for the whole year, and I managed to also get a 5 on the AP exam. Of course, I want to note that I didn't share any of that because I'm looking to brag, because I'm definitely not, but I just want you guys to know that you can totally trust my advice on this topic. As I mentioned earlier, AP Euro was one of the first AP courses that I took, along with AP Seminar. So it was obviously really difficult for me to adjust to the difficulty of the course, the tests, all the homework, so it was definitely a big jump. So previously to AP Euro, I'd taken Global History 1 my freshman year of high school. So some advice that I would give to you guys if you're thinking about taking AP Euro is don't take the course unless you had an A+ average in Global History, because you definitely need a strong history background and a strong liking for history in order to do well in this course. One of the biggest things that I had to adjust to was the timing. In Global History the year before, I didn't get that much homework, but in Euro, my homework was an hour to an hour and a half every night. So definitely that took up more time in my day, which is something I needed to adjust to, as well as the time for taking tests. In Global History previously, I had as much time as I needed kind of to go through and read all the questions to really analyze and think about them. But in AP Euro, the timing is much tighter. So for example, we would have a test and it would be a little bit under 1 minute per question, and the questions were all prompt based, so you would have to read the prompt as well. So definitely learning how to take tests faster and be a quick thinker helped me to excel in the course. So obviously every school is going to be different, but in my school we spent a lot of time on the first two units, which were the Renaissance and the Reformation, which led us to not being able to finish the curriculum at the end of the year. So if this happens in your school, my advice would be don't freak out, because as I just said, we didn't really finish the curriculum, but yet I still got a 5 on the AP exam. So as long as you're able to self-study on your own, you should be okay. Last but not least, my favorite units throughout the year were the French Revolution and the Scientific Revolution. So for me, I love science. It's actually my favorite subject, which is why obviously I love the Scientific Revolution. But the French Revolution was so cool because who doesn't love learning about like guillotines and like chopping people's heads off? I don't know. I thought it was like a really interesting part of history to learn that actually happened in real life. Alright, so in this section, we're going to go into some of my advice for people that are taking AP Euro. So my first piece of advice, which I did mention earlier, is to only take the course if you actually like and enjoy history. So I know it's pretty common for people to enroll in a course because it will look good on their transcript or they want the AP credit, but history APs especially, they're incredibly boring if you are not interested in the subject. So I would definitely not take the course unless you actually like history and you are going to enjoy the coursework and the material that comes with it. My second piece of advice is to literally Tom Ritchie. Like, that's it. Like, Tom Ritchie is your king. You need to watch every single one of his YouTube videos. Tom Ritchie will teach you AP European history like no other, and he will make it fun and he will make it memorable. No matter how great your teacher is at school, I definitely recommend that you take some time outside of school to watch Tom Ritchie's videos. I will leave that linked in the description box down below. Third is to actively read the textbook. So for homework, we would often have to read the textbook, and sometimes, not gonna lie, it can become a snooze fest, which is why it's really important that you're actively reading. So the way I would do this would be to read, to make sure that I'm highlighting and taking notes. That way I'm actually absorbing the information that I'm reading. Next, Be prepared to not do so well in the course. So as I said, I did end the year with a 96.6 average. However, some of my test grades were significantly lower than that. I think my lowest test grade was like an 82, which it might not sound that bad to you because it's not bad, but compared to my usual average, it was much lower. So I had to kind of mentally prepare myself to get lower grades than what I was used to because I was taking such a difficult AP. Especially the first few tests, you can expect to get relatively low grades because you need to adjust to the difficulty of the course. As the course goes on and as you get better at studying specifically for AP Euro, you will see your grades go up again. My next tip is to get into the history meme community. So for us Gen Z kids, the best way for us to remember anything is if we can laugh about it. So I will leave the handle right here to me and my friend Nico's history meme account. We have memes for European history as well as AP US history, and definitely you can find a lot of content on there that you can laugh about, which will help you remember it for the test. This next tip was such a steep learning curve for me, but it's that on these history exams, you have to choose the best answer, not just the right one, because it was pretty common to see multiple correct answers on the test, and even if your answer is technically correct, you would not get the points unless you chose the best answer. So the way to get better at choosing which one is the best answer is to go to extra help after the test and kind of go over your test with the teacher and have them reason with you why that one is the best answer. And as the course progresses, you will start to be able to tell those best answers apart from the other correct ones. If that part made no sense to you, just leave a comment down below and I'll be happy to further explain what I meant by that. And tagging off that tip, as I said, go to extra help as much as you can, develop a great relationship with your teacher, and learn from your mistakes. Being in an AP course is all about growing and learning as a student. So if you do bad on a test, make sure that you take that opportunity to really learn from your mistakes. That way you don't do it again. Okay, so I'm sure that this section is the one that you guys most care about, and it is how to get a 5 on the AP. So I will kind of go through what I did. This is not guaranteed to work for you as well, but I'm just going to share my personal experience and how I studied for the AP exam. So I haven't really shared this much, but I am not a long-term studier, which is usually found to be the best studying method to study over a long period of time. However, I'm a crammer and that's what works for me. I'm not saying it'll work for you, I don't know, but definitely find your own studying style. But what I did was basically the week and a half leading up to the AP exam, I completely crammed for the test, but that was what worked for me to help me remember all the information. One thing that I did was for an entire weekend, I basically locked myself in my room and I read this book, the 5 Steps to a 5 book for the AP European History exam, from front to back. And I didn't just read it, I annotated and took notes on the entire thing. So these review books can get kind of pricey, so if you do not feel like paying for them, which I definitely didn't, you can actually probably go to your school library or your local public library and take out the book and borrow it. However, be sure that you're not writing in the book if it is borrowed and that you use Post-its or extra loose leaf paper to take your notes, which is what I did. Next, I watched a lot of AP review videos on YouTube. So these ones are more general, so they're usually like an hour and a half or pretty long, and they go through the whole year and they just really stress the key main points from every single unit that you need to remember. I'll leave some good ones linked in the description box down below, so be sure to check those out. Okay, so this one's actually kind of a funny story, which I'll tell you. So I recommend that you guys read the book Animal Farm. So for me, this was a required reading in my English class, and it actually ended up helping me on the European history exam. So on the exam, I actually had a short response question and I had to write about the Russian Revolution, but my mind absolutely blanked out and I could not remember what happened in the Russian Revolution. However, I did remember that the Russian Revolution had a similar plot line to that of Animal Farm, which was a book that I read. Therefore, I kind of just vaguely explained the plot of Animal Farm and threw in a few key figures that I remembered, and I managed to still get a 5. So definitely read Animal Farm. You actually won't regret it because it will come in handy on the AP European History exam. A lot of people tell you not to study or review anything on test day. However, personally, I don't choose to do this, and I woke up and I started my morning by watching the Breakfast with Richie live stream. So this is basically a last-minute live stream that Tom Ritchie does every single year where you can send in live questions and he will answer them for the exam. So basically, this is a chance to clear up any final things that you have questions on, and you can listen to other questions from other listeners as well. Something that really helps me to do well on these exams is kind of almost like manifestation, but not really, and it's the fact that I'm prepared and not scared for the exam. So before I go and sit down at the exam, I am fully confident that I know enough to perform well. Therefore, I get over my nerves and I'm able to sit down level-headed and take the exam. So personally, my exam was at 2 p.m., I believe, so I actually went to school for the whole day that day because I just needed a sense of normalcy to help calm me down before the test. So if you choose to stay home, that's perfectly fine, and if that's what helps you relax. But if you studied enough and you feel prepared enough, there's no reason why you shouldn't go into school that day as well. My last tip for doing well on your exam is being mindful of the time. So on the exam, the part that I struggled with the most was the multiple choice because it was very, very tight timing. So you kind of have to be a speed demon, but make sure that you're still getting the questions right and that your accuracy is on point. But please be mindful of the clock, that way you're actually able to answer all the questions. So that about sums it up for this video. If you have any questions about anything that I said, please leave a comment down below because I would love to share more knowledge and expertise about AP European history because I want you guys to be able to do as well as you can within the course and also on the AP exam. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and good luck if you are choosing to be an AP European history student. The course is very, very difficult, but if you are up for the challenge, I'm sure that you can do amazing. As usual, be sure to follow me on all my social medias. I will leave them up here. I am on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Make sure that you are followed, subscribed, all that good stuff. If you ever have any questions, be sure to either leave a comment or to DM me on any of those platforms, and I will get back to you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and for supporting me, and I hope you guys have a great day.